ChatGPT. Everybody's asking ChatGPT to ask what they should eat, when they should sleep, and what they should do in their day-to-day lives. So I thought, what if I let ChatGPT trade a ProfM challenge account? Maybe it's smart enough to actually pass, and maybe it's smarter than 95% of traders who earn profitable in trading. So I just give ChatGPT control over $100,000 ProfM account. And if it can actually pass the challenge and make profits, I'll give away all the payouts to my subscribers. Yes, seriously.
Wait, what if it fails?
I hadn't actually thought about that yet.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Just kidding, I'll still be giving away $50,000 ProfM account to one of my subscribers. To be one of the lucky ones, I've set some simple rules which you can check out in the description. Disclaimer, I'm not going to reveal which ProfM I use for this challenge. Just so you know, this $500 came straight out of my own pocket. No sponsorship, no affiliate deal. I did it to find out the real truth and to keep everything 100% transparent. So these are the rules for a $100,000 ProfM account. I need to make 8% profit without hitting a 4% daily or 8% total loss. Every trade I take must come from ChatGPT's decision. I send a chart photo and I'll let it do the technical analysis and tells me one thing: buy or sell, no debate. I'm risking 1.5 to 2% per trade with a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. If I lose 4 times in a row, the challenge is done and we are But if I win 3 times in a row, I pass both phase 1 and phase 2 and we are fended. If ChatGPT makes the wrong call, we could lose $500 in a week or 2. But if it pulls us off, this AI will literally pass the ProfM challenge better than 95% of traders out there. Let's see, am I gonna pass or fail the challenge and how many days am I gonna survive? Before I let ChatGPT take over, let's do a quick top-down analysis on gold. Starting with the weekly chart, we are clearly in a bullish trend. It does look like prices ranging a little bit, but there's still a chance to fill that big wick on the left. Of course, nothing's confirmed until this week candle closes. On the daily chart, we've got a supply zone that price could test pretty soon. Nothing too crazy here, just now zooming into the 4-hour chart. This is where things get interesting. We've had a change of corrector and a break of stretcher to the upside. And remember, the higher time frame is also bullish. Plus, the left side of the chart is clean. So there's room for price to run and potentially fill that space. So that's the setup I'm seeing, but I'm not the one pulling the trigger here. Let's pass this 4-hour chart over to ChatGPT and let it decide that trade. Alright, we just sent the 4-hour gold chart to ChatGPT and let's see. Right, market contest, as well screenshot. Strong 4-hour bullish move approaching previous resistance area. Let's mark the area 3390 and 3400. Okay, and then we have got a sell from ChatGPT analysis. Alright, let's take that sell setup from ChatGPT. Entry is current price. And then stop loss 3395, 1500 points above entry, and take profit 1-to-1. Alright, we just took the trade ChatGPT suggested. So let's just wait and see how it's gonna turn out. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, I've got a bad news for the day. I took my first trade and honestly it wasn't the best bet. I was down about minus 1.5% right away. But I wasn't discouraged. This is all part of letting ChatGPT make the calls. What's interesting is the trade only needed 50 pips to hit TP. So the analysis wasn't completely off. It looks like ChatGPT had a real shot at passing this challenge. Now let's move on to the next day. Alright, let's do a quick top-down analysis on gold first. On the monthly chart, Price is trying to fill the wick on the left side. That's about 600 pips. On the weekly chart, it seems like we're in a small range, maybe some accumulation. Let's clear all of that out. Yep, we've been ranging for a while inside this triangle. Let's look at the daily chart. Nothing too crazy. Let's adjust this line. Price is still ranging and the buying pressure looks like it's dying a little bit. So we could expect a pullback first before going higher. For me to take this trade, I want to wait and see how the candle closes. If it closes and makes a wick without breaking the previous daily candle low, I'll look for a buy. But we are not trading based on my analysis today. So we are passing this 4-hour chart over to ChatGPT and let's see what it comes up with. All right, we just sent this 4-hour gold chart to ChatGPT and let's see its analysis. All right, now let's mark out the resistance zone. We've got 2 resistance zones from ChatGPT, which is 3380, 3400. Let's mark this resistance zone. And we've got 2 support zones around 3320, 3300. Without further ado, let's take the trade for the day. Entry 3375, current market price, and stop loss 350 points. 3400, take profit 3325. Okay, we've got a 1-to-2 risk to reward trade. Okay, and we have got a risk management tip for today. If price hits +1R and stalls, you can either move stop loss to break even. Okay, this is new. All right, we just took the trade for today. And let's see how it's gonna turn out, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, after sitting in the market for over 6 hours, the trade was running in profit for 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Just like ChatGPT suggested, I placed my stop loss back to break even and let the trade run. But the price reverse came back to my entry and hit my stop loss. So in the end, it closed with just a tiny loss. So by seeing those analysis from ChatGPT, it does look like it can actually be better than 95% of traders. So for the first 2 days, I tried doing my own breakdowns. But honestly, that's not the point of this challenge, right? So I don't want to waste your time anymore. From here on, I'm just gonna pass the 4-hour chart directly to ChatGPT. All right. So let's send this 4-hour gold chart to ChatGPT for the day. All right, we've got a market overview from ChatGPT. Price is showing resistance reaction around 3385, 3390. All right, let's mark out these resistance zones from ChatGPT. 3385, 3390. Could be a good sell opportunity for a short retracement. Okay, we've got a trade for the day. Sell. Without further ado, let's take a sell as exactly ChatGPT said. We've got an entry at current price and stop loss 3400, 3355. Okay, we've got a 1-to-2 risk to reward trade again. All right, we've got a trade for the day. Let's just wait and see and how it's gonna turn out. I'll see you in a bit. Well. Same as yesterday. We ended up at break even again. I follow exactly what ChatGPT said and moved my stop loss to break even once price hit 150 pips, which was more than 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So even though it closed at break even, it showed that ChatGPT could at least pick the right direction, just not enough to move the account anywhere. All right, let's pass all the analysis and send this 4-hour gold chart straight to the ChatGPT. Okay, I just sent the 4-hour gold chart to ChatGPT for the day. All right, we've got a trade analysis. Okay, let's just look at the key observations. We've got a 3400, 3405 strong resistance area. Now let's mark these 2 resistance zones first. All right, we've got a trade decision for the day again. And it is a sell again.
No! God, please, no! No!
Okay, let's pass all of those analysis and straight into the trade. Okay, risk management is the same as yesterday. Move stop loss to break even at 100 points profit, not waiting for full TP, or take partials profit early, that's in the restaurant. Okay, we've got a trade for the day. I just took the trade. I really hope that this trade is not gonna mess up again. All right guys, I've got a bad news for the day. Today was rough. ChatGPT lost a trade again. It cost me almost minus 1.5%. At this point, I was starting to dig a deeper hole. And totally, we are down about minus 3%. This is not looking good, guys. But let's move on to the next day. Alright, for the past few trades, we have been sending the gold chat to ChatGPT. Now, let's switch things up a bit because we are down minus 3%. We need to have a change of plan. Since I also trade USD, we're going to do some analysis and send the chart to ChatGPT. Let's just hope it doesn't mess up this time. Alright, let's look at the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, we have been going up and we have got 70 pips to fill the space on the left side. Now let's look at the weekly chart. Same as on the monthly chart, we have about 80 to 90 pips to fill the space on the left side. Now let's look at the daily chart. On the daily chart, it looks like it is trying to reach to that supply zone. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, we are having this small range. We have got those rejections on the upside. So this is a sell for the day. But however I do my trade analysis, it doesn't affect today trade even a bit. So let's just send this chart over to ChatGPT. All right, I just sent this 4-hour USD chart to ChatGPT and we have got a market overview and some analysis and key observations for the day. Price is now testing a minor resistance around 1.715. Okay, we've got a resistance zone. Let's mark these out. 1.715, 1.1720. Okay, let's mark these out first. We've got a trade decision for today. It is a sell, guys. I was low-key hoping ChatGPT to give me a sell for this trade. We've got the trade plan is 1.1700. Current price, stop loss 50 pips, take profit 50 pips. Okay, we've got a 1-to-1 trade.
2,000 years later.
Finally, I've got some good news for you guys. ChatGPT nailed this trade and we are up about 2% for the day.
Nice.
This one trade basically recovered almost all the losses from the past two trades. But we're still down minus 1% overall. And this change of plan might actually give us some hope to recover and pass this challenge. But before we move on to the next day, we need to switch things up. Because if we don't, this video could take a month or two to finish. So here's the new plan. We're gonna take 2 trades a day. Remember, we've got 4% daily drawdown limit and we are only risking 1.5% per trade. That means if we want to speed things up, taking 2 trades a day makes sense. All right, that's it for today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. All right, let's pass all the analysis and send the 4-hour chart to ChatGPT because it did very well on the last trade. Okay, I just sent the 4-hour chart to ChatGPT and we have got the chart analysis for the day. Recent trend, strong bullish recovery from 1.1500 bottom, but currently is lower near resistance zone 1.1700. 1.1720. Okay, let's mark these resistance zones. 1.1700, 1.1720. Momentum is low and this looks like a potential short-term pullback before trend decides direction. Okay, these are the 2 trades for today. One is short, one is long. Interesting. I'm literally hoping these 2 trades will work. So let's wait and see how it's gonna turn out. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I've got a good and a bad news for you guys. Yesterday was a roller coaster. In the London session, I made another plus 2% win, bringing momentum back in my favor. But then I took another trade that stopped me out with a tiny pips. How could this happen? Whatever. Let's just move on to another trade for the day. Let's clear all of that now and send this 4-hour chart to ChatGPT. Alright, I just sent the 4-hour USD chart to ChatGPT. We've got analysis from ChatGPT for USD chart. Price rejected at 1.1500 zone earlier, strong demand and bounced. Now consolidating around the 1.1670, 1.1700 form in a small range. I have already marked out all these support and resistance line. Alright, we've got 2 trades for the day. For the trade 1, we've got a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade. Sell around 1.1670. Current level, stop loss 1.1690. 20 pips above, 20 pips down. Okay, we've got a sell for the first trade. Now let's take the trade for a sell first. All right, let's just wait and see how it's gonna turn out again. All right, the first trade ChatGPT gave me a loss of minus 2%, but that's fine. We still got another 2% of risks left for the day. So I'm gonna push one more trade and hopefully this one turns things around. All right, I just sent this 4-hour gold chart to ChatGPT and we've got 2 options to take the trade, but option 1 is preferred. So we're gonna go with option 1. Without further ado, let's jump into the trade. We've got a sell 3328, 3330 current price. Okay, the reason is market is rejecting rallies and sitting near support. A clean 15-minute candle close below 3325, bearish continuation. All right, we'll find out very soon if this works in our favor. I'll see you in a bit. I've got a massive bad news for you guys. Right after 15 minutes, I took that last trade. I suddenly got an email saying I breached the account, but the stop loss on my last trade hadn't even been hit yet. I was so confused. I honestly thought the prof firm made a mistake. So I went to check the dashboard and that's when I saw it. The trade I took yesterday actually closed today with a minus 1.8% loss. That's when it hit me. I had already used up all of my daily drawdown limit without realizing it. That's the moment I knew I had completely messed up. And that's how the $100,000 challenge ended. Not from blowing trades, but from breaching the daily drawdown limit without realizing it. Honestly, ChatGPT's analysis wasn't completely wrong. We had wins, we had break evens, and even the losses weren't even that bad. What really killed the account was the rule and overtrading itself. But this is in the end. I'm still going to give away the $50,000 profit account to one of my subscribers. So check the description for the rules if you want to be one of the lucky ones. And if you enjoy watching me let ChatGPT trade a $100,000 profit challenge account, make sure you subscribe because I've got a lot more crazy experiments like this coming up. Who knows, maybe next time we'll actually pass that challenge. And if you want me to do this type of challenge again, comment do it. I'll make it happen. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.